The face of major championship golf keeps getting younger. The average age of 4 of the last 5 major winners was 26, and 9 of the top 10 players in the world rankings are 30 or younger. Recent champions Scottie Scheffler, Colin Morikawa, and Jon Rahm, each in their 20s, have shown experience is no longer essential on golf's grandest stage. A player's ability, not his age, is what matters most in championship golf. The Professional Golfers Association of America presents the PGA Championship Highlight Show in partnership with Rolex. Just in time again. Hello friends, I'm Jim Nance and welcome to the 2022 PGA Championship from storied Southern Hills Country Club in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Southern Hills hosting a record 5th PGA Championship in its glorious history. Once again, this PGA attracted one of the strongest and most global fields in golf's only all-professional championship. 95 of the top 100 players on the world rankings were at the Perry Maxwell design course that was built in 1936 and redesigned by Gil Hanse in 2019. Southern Hills has a history of identifying the best players. The last 5 major winners here are in the World Golf Hall of Fame, including 2007 PGA champ Tiger Woods.
The corridor's a little bit wider now than they used to be when Tiger played here in '07, and it's a more strategic golf course than it used to be. There's certain holes that you want to be as far left, kind of close to the creek, to give you a better angle to hit back up into the green, which most likely is going to be into the wind, so you want to hit back up into the wind versus having the wind coming down left, because it can fall down there pretty good, 40 or 50 yards. Like the first hole, the fairway bunkers are over to the left now, they used to be on the right. So taking on those bunkers, getting a little closer there allows you to get a better angle to the green where you're not coming over the bunker into your approach shot. If you kind of look back, the guys that have won here, they've all been playing great at the time, and they've all been great around the greens. It's a golf course that is in front of you, as they say, but it applies the pressure from the first shot all the way to the 18th hole.
Let's see who became a major part of golf history by winning the Wanamaker Trophy at the 2022 PGA Championship. Tiger Woods returned to golf after a serious car crash helped make the 2022 PGA one of the most anticipated in recent memory. Tiger was placed in the morning's marquee threesome with 2-time PGA champion Rory McIlroy and Jordan Spieth. This trio had won a combined 22 majors and 6 PGAs. Tiger opened with a birdie at 10 and then added 3 pars. Here he is at the 14th with another birdie look. To 2 under. But Tiger was 3 over when he reached his final hole. Another bogey.
I hit a lot of bad iron shots in the middle part of the round and late in the round. Consequently, I just never got the ball close for any birdie putts. They're all long putts, or I had to try and get up and down, and just put myself in bad spots.
He shot 74. Spieth also struggled with 4 bogeys, and he needed to save par at his final hole. That side door action helped Spieth post a 72. Rory started the back 9 with 2 pars before he reached the par 4 12th. To 2 feet, it started a run of 4 consecutive birdies. He was 4 under at his final hole and had this putt for birdie. A 65.
Once I saw the draw on Tuesday, I was excited for that. I always enjoy playing in those marquee grips and enjoy playing with Tiger, and I was excited to go out there and play well in front of those galleries, and thankfully I did that today.
Will Zalatoris had 4 top 10s in 7 career majors and was 3 under when he reached his closing hole. This for birdie. right in the heart, and just one back after his 66. Tom Hoge's best finish in 7 majors was a 39th, but he came out firing on the first hole for birdie. Nice way to start a major. He was 2 under at the turn. This nifty approach led to another birdie. Hoge added a birdie to finish at 4 under 66. The traditional grouping of the 3 previous major champions highlighted the afternoon action. Last summer, Jon Rahm became the first Spaniard to win the U.S. Open. At last year's Open Championship, Collin Morikawa captured his 2nd major. And Scottie Scheffler won the Masters to earn his first major. They faced tougher conditions. Scheffler was even par when he came to the par 5 fifth. His 2nd shot. And what a result. Scheffler was just 12 feet away. For the eagle. It was the day's only eagle on this 656-yard monster. Could the long-hitting Texan take advantage of Southern Hills' other par 5? Here's his 3rd. At the 13th. The shot came up short and he bogeyed the hole. 2 more late bogeys left him with a disappointing 71. Morikawa made just 1 birdie during his 72. Rahm was farther back after a 73. It had been 5 years since Justin Thomas won the PGA. The stronger winds weren't helping his cause. Still, JT was 1 under when he came to the 15th and missed the fairway. He knew he had to play for a flyer, and he judged it perfectly.
Pretty much like that.
At Southern Hills' stout closing hole, he gave himself another birdie look. For a 67.
It was windy out there, it was tough. The greens were so bumpy. It was very, very difficult to, to kind of trust some of your lines, and I felt like I really did a good job of that, just kind of committing and trusting everything I was doing and just trying to make today as easy as I possibly could on myself, and I did.
The first round leaderboard, McIlroy's 65, was his lowest opening round in a major since the 2011 U.S. Open. Mito Pereira's 68 came in his first round at the PGA. Tony Finau shot 69 in search of his first major title. Reigning PGA professional champion Jesse Mueller shot 72.
What an unbelievable week here in Tulsa. Starting the championship week on Monday with the Secretary's Cup, bringing 12 teams from around the country, 48 veterans and 12 PGA professionals as their coaches to represent not only the thousands of veterans that are in that program, but the millions of veterans around the country that have given back. It's an unbelievable way for us to utilize the game of golf, for our association to show our appreciation for veterans and all that they've done. The Secretary's Cup is an event that showcases PGA Hope, which stands for Helping Our Patriots Everywhere. Utilizing golf to give back to our veterans who have given so much to our country is one of the key pillars of our foundation. Veterans had a great time. The staff at Indian Springs were unbelievable. The membership came out to support the event. There's a lot of great programs that are utilizing golf that are giving back to veterans. But PGA Hope is the only program that actually is approved by the VA as rehabilitation. Veterans suffer from a lot of different disabilities, but some of that is mental and PTSD, and getting back into society, reconnecting with their families, reconnecting with their local communities. But to see the faces and talk to the veterans on what the game of golf has done, and hearing the stories from veterans talk about how golf, and specifically how PGA Hope, brought them back into their communities is truly special.
Weather continued to be a key ingredient Friday at the 2022 PGA. Strong winds arrived early in the morning and made Southern Hills a sterner test. The wind was unrelenting and ever-changing. Justin Thomas wasted little time showing he was up for the challenge. Starting on the back nine, Thomas split the fairway. What an approach, and what a way to begin round two. It led to an opening birdie. At the par 5 13th, Thomas's third shot. Another one close, and another birdie. Thomas was 2 under with a birdie try at his final hole. It capped off another 3 under 67 for the 29-year-old.
It's a nice start. Sure beats, 270s to start my tournament, but only halfway and have a lot of golf left. But if I just keep doing what I'm doing and staying patient, then, I'm excited for the week.
Rory McIlroy awoke Friday with the lead in a major for the first time since 2014. The Northern Irishman took advantage of easier scoring conditions Thursday morning to lead the PGA at 65 as he tried to win his first major in 8 years. 1 over through 6 holes. This was to say par at 7. Another bogey. At the par 4 12th, Rory finally had a good birdie look. It was his only birdie of the day. He shot just 71, despite the winds laying down. Tiger Woods was in grind mode after a double bogey at 11 left him outside the cut line. He needed a birdie at the par 5 13. And that's what he got. The crowd wanted to see the 4-time PGA champion on the weekend. A brilliant approach at the long 16th gave him another birdie look. Tiger made the cut after a 69.
Over the course of my career, I've used my hands quite well and got to rely on feel and hit shots. And when you're out there and, it's just about hitting the ball the right number and getting it done. And I know it wasn't exactly the way I wanted it to be, but, hopefully I can do that this weekend.
Jordan Spieth matched Tiger's 69 to also make the cut at 1 over. Will Zalatoris said he loves the difficulty of majors. He would be tested after a poor opening drive. It was better than good, leading to a kick-in birdie. After 9 consecutive pars, Zalatoris hit another one close at the 11th. He was tied for the lead at 6 under. At the 12th, he eyed another birdie. Zalatoris was leading the PGA at 7 under. Could he make it 3 birdies in a row at the 13th? This one got him to 8 under. But Zalatoris had a narrow opening with his approach at the 17th. Zalatoris was sitting pretty after one more birdie had him in the lead at 9 under.
We've got so much golf ahead of us, but I told my caddy, it's just, hey, let's enjoy this. My first Masters, obviously I finished runner-up, and our whole mission that week is just to enjoy the experience. So kind of keep that same attitude going into this weekend.
Mito Pereira of Chile opened with a 68 in his second major. 2 under on his front 9, he had this birdie try at the second. And a confident stroke delivered. At the 4th, he had an almost identical birdie putt. With the same result, he was tied now for the lead at 6 under. At the par 5 5th, Pereira went birdie hunting again. And now he had a share of the lead at 7 under par. At the 7th hole, he hit another fairway. Looking good and getting better. The birdie capped off a 64, leaving him 1 back of Zalatoris. Bubba Watson opened with a 72, but looked to flip the switch in round 2. At the par 3 11th, his approach went long. His decision to use the putter proved to be correct. His 3rd straight birdie. Watson's length came in handy at the par 5 13th. For birdie, he was 6 under for the day. At the 17th, he took an aggressive line with his approach. Barely clearing the bunker and bouncing to tap-in distance. Watson finished with a PGA record-tying 63 and was at 4 under. Abraham Ancer opened with a 67, looking for his 2nd straight top 10 in the PGA. His 3rd at the par 5 13. It was close, inches. He'd shoot 69. Davis Riley shot 68 in the first round and was 1 under for the day when he reached the 13th. Almost a gimme. The birdie helped Riley join the group at 4 under. At the halfway point, Zalatoris' 131 was the 3rd lowest 36-hole score in PGA history. Fitzpatrick was trying to become the first Englishman to win the PGA since Jim Barnes in 1919. The two Camerons were tied at 2 under. 2-time PGA champion Brooks Koepka made the cut thanks to a 67. Some past major winners missed the cut, and a team of 20 member Matthew Borchert was low PGA professional.
Back at Southern Hills Country Club, the greatest players in the world will showcase their talent in the U.S. heartland. And that includes a group of 20 PGA Club professionals who will compete on this stage with the very best in the sport.
That's Austin Hurd, one of our team of 20 club pros. Head professional at Wing Point in Bainbridge Island, Washington, and rolls home along with an 8. He's got a fan club out there.
As a PGA member myself, showcasing the team of 20 professionals is always special. They each work hard to play the game at an incredibly high level, while also remaining dedicated to our mission of growing the game by helping golfers of all skill levels improve and enjoy the great game of golf.
Team of 20, Jesse Mueller, his very first hole.
Everybody's proud back home.
You know that they are huddled around the televisions for all of these different club pros.
Just do that,
right? Jeez. Welcome to the competition.
PGA just does an amazing job. Everything is high class. The courses are championship caliber for sure, and they're just a true test of golf. And the way they run it is just fantastic to be a part of. I can't say enough how they operate and run these events.
One of our team of 20 club professionals, Matt Borcher from Isleworth Country Club in Windermere. I'm not sure this is one that he has given many lessons to try and emulate. He's trying to stay as level as you can, I guess. 1 foot in the bunker, 1 foot out with putter. And it's just that easy.
There's the lesson, Bob. Just do that.
Do that, yeah.
Our low club professional in the 2022 PGA Championship, Matt Borcher.
As far as the overall experience, it was awesome. Just being on this stage, competing against the best in the world. When you're representing the PGA of America and all its professionals, I feel like that, earning that honor is a big deal. So all in all, a pretty successful week and feel good about it.
The temperatures had dropped 30 degrees and the ground was wet, but the wind remained a factor on moving day at Southern Hills. Will Zalatoris had a one-shot lead, but he had former PGA champions Justin Thomas and Rory McIlroy hot on his heels. Thomas's round didn't start well with a bogey on the first hole to drop to 5 under. Zalatoris was playing in only his 8th major, but he'd already impressed with 4 top 10 finishes. He led Chile's Mito Pereira by 1 after 2 rounds, which was a great sign. All 8 winners of majors at Southern Hills had at least a share of the 36-hole lead.
Now on the tee, please welcome from Texas, Will Zalatoris.
Headed right.
Now on the tee from Chile, Mito Pereira.
Pereira's tee shot headed toward the skyline of downtown Tulsa, right down the middle. Both players found the same bunker. Pereira first. Almost. Then Zalatoris. He would miss the putt coming up, and the bogey with the Pereira save par would mean we had a tie for the lead. The co-leaders moved to the second hole. Pereira for birdie. The Chilean was leading the PGA at 9 under. Bubba Watson hoped to carry over momentum from his Friday 63, but bogeyed 3. Then his approach at 4. Beautifully played. The birdie got Bubba back to 5 under. At the 4th, Thomas had a fine approach. leaving this for birdie. JT regaining the shot he had dropped at the first hole. Abraham Anser started with 4 pars and remained 5 back. Here's his third at the par 5 fifth. Nearly holed it on the fly. The birdie moved him to 5 under. Rory didn't have much to smile about after opening with 5 pars. Now at the difficult 6th. It didn't go, bouncing into the water. And ultimately leading to this attempt to save bogey. The double dropped him to -2. The leaders reached the par 5 fifth. Here's Pereira's third. It would spin back to 8 feet, leading to birdie to take a 3-shot lead at 10 under. Cameron Young started moving up the leaderboard with a pair of birdies and had a chance for another one at the 9th. The son of a PGA professional moved to 4 under. Zalatoris was headed in the opposite direction. He was 2 over and faced another par save attempt at the 6th. He fell 4 back at -6 and clearly wasn't happy. At the par 4 7th, Bubba eyed another birdie. The 2-time Masters champion improved to 6 under, much to the fans' delight. Pereira was coming off a bogey at 8 and faced this par putt at 9. The bogey left him muttering and dropped him to 8 under. Pereira still had a 2-shot lead halfway through the 3rd round. But Mito's struggles continued on the back 9. This for par at 10. Suffering a 3rd consecutive bogey, and his lead was cut to 1 at 7 under par. Matt Fitzpatrick was even par through 12 holes and looking for a spark. This was for eagle at the par 5 13th. Almost got there, but the birdie moved the Englishman to 4 under. Rory was languishing at 4 over for the day when he came to the long par 3 14th. Yes, it hit the pin. Rory finally had reason to smile after a rare birdie at the 14th. With the tees moved up, Young was looking to drive the par 4 17. It was the right number. Could he convert the eagle? Moving to 5 under.
I putted fantastic today. I made a bunch of, mid-range 20, 30 footers. And that's, I think, kind of what it took out there today. It's very hard to get it close. The wind is swirling a lot, so it's just really hard to have opportunities that are short, and I made a couple of longer ones.
Zalatoris was 4 over and hadn't made a birdie when he arrived at the 13th.
Just got to pay some respect to this one. How good is this from Zalatoris? Good time to do it as well, tied at the top.
Pereira had lost the outright lead as he looked to match Zalatoris' birdie at 13.
You can do. That's exactly how he meant to react. Little match play going on right here.
The final pair reached the 14th. Pereira with a wonderful shot. For the birdie. And the lead by 2 at 8 under. Zalatoris was still 2 back on the 16th tee. After a pitch out, Zalatoris' third. A solid shot, but he bogeyed to move back to 5 under. Fitzpatrick was still hanging around at -4 for birdie at 17. In contention at 5 under. Answer was 1 over for the day with just a birdie when he arrived at the 17th green, looking for his second of the day. Moving him to 4 under, where he finished round 3 after a 70. The closing hole at Southern Hills was a brute. Fitzpatrick's approach. A beauty. Now, did he pay off that splendid iron shot?
Go into the back 9 at the same score I started the day. I was absolutely delighted. It's something that I've sort of been working on the last few weeks, is just to, try and take one shot at a time and not get too worked up about it. I was really pleased with the round.
After driving left of the par 4 17th green, Zalatoris faced this eagle pitch. Wonderful touch, and the birdie got him back to 600. The 18th hole continued to exact the toll. Thomas for par. Ending an off day for Justin, 74 dropped him to 200. Watson also bogeyed 18 and joined Thomas at 2 under after a 73. Zalatoris for birdie at 18.
Pretty frustrated with the start, but I'd rather have a frustrating start and a good finish. I'm proud of the way I hung in there and fought hard all day. You know, I thought I'd kind of have some nice momentum going into tomorrow.
He joined Fitzpatrick in second place after a 73. Pereira had also fought back to even par for the day and had this birdie look at 18.
This for birdie. Release. That's impressive. Do that one more day, you deserve to be the champion here.
I was playing really good on Shanley. I made 4 bogeys in 5 holes. It was a tough place to be at that moment, but from 13 on, I made 3 under, and those holes are pretty tough. So really happy how I ended up playing. The birdie on 18 was a bonus, so just happy to be in this position.
Pereira and Fitzpatrick, the only players to shoot under par the first 3 days. Former major champions Thomas and Watson had fallen 7 back. First round leader Rory McIlroy was 10 behind. Tiger Woods shot 79 and had to withdraw after the round because he was in so much pain. After 3 dramatic rounds was the 2022 PGA Championship, headed to its first playoff since 2011. PGA Championship leader Mito Pereira had yet to win on the PGA Tour. But neither had his 3 closest pursuers, Matt Fitzpatrick, Will Zalatoris, and Cameron Young. The young stars each was 27 or younger. They were facing less severe conditions on Sunday at Southern Hills. But could Pereira continue the trend where all 7 major champions at Southern Hills had the 54-hole lead? Or would a prior major champion say, wait just a minute? Young opened with a bogey, but looked to bounce back at the par 4 second. A bogey birdie beginning for Cameron Young. Leader Pereira opened with a pair of pars as he headed to the 3rd hole. For another par. The nasty lip out dropped him to 8 under. Zalatoris started with 3 pars. This was his approach at the 4th. Perfectly judged, and the birdie moved him to within 1. Fitzpatrick was 1 over after 3. His approach at 4. A birdie, moving him to -6. Young and Zalatoris both had the length to reach the par 5 5th in 2. Young first. Pin high for eagle. He'd birdie to move to 6 under. Zalatoris also went for the green in 2. Mission accomplished. He also 2-putted for birdie to move into a share of the lead at -8. Zalatoris had honors at the demanding 6th. Way over the green.
What?
He couldn't believe it as the ball bounced into the shrubbery. He did well to save bogey and dropped just one shot to 7 under. Pereira had no idea what was happening with Zalatoris. He laid up at the 5th hole. And this was his 3rd at the par 5. A splendid shot. Pereira back to 9 under and leading by 2 after Zalatoris' bogey at 6. Thomas was 1 over for the day and had fallen 8 shots out of the lead as he played the par 4 9th. This for birdie. Giving him much needed momentum heading to the back 9. After a par at 10, Thomas faced a 65-foot birdie attempt at 11. Off the charts. A tip of the hat after the prayer was answered and Thomas moved to 3 under. Young was even par through 8 holes and 4 shots back. He had this for birdie at 9. And climbed to 6 under and was 3 behind Pereira as he headed to the back 9. Up ahead at the par 4 12th, Thomas looked to make his 2nd straight birdie and 3 out of 4.
Oh, yeah, look at this. Maybe it is Thomas time.
Thomas was just 3 back after a pair of bogeys from Pereira. 5 players were within 3 shots of Pereira. Mito bogeyed the 12th to fall into a tie for the lead with Young at -6. This was Pereira's 2nd shot at the par 5 13. A beauty. Pereira couldn't wait to see the result. He 2-putt from there to regain the lead. Fitzpatrick was 3 over for the day, but still in it, heading to the par 4 15. With his cross-handed style, this chip for birdie. Amazing! Fitzpatrick's caddy, Billy Foster, may not have been impressed, but now his man was within 2 after Pereira bogeyed 14. Here's Thomas, also 2 back, but running out of holes. He had to birdie the drivable 17th. But from the front, bunker. Beautifully executed, below the hole. No doubt, Thomas had cut the once insurmountable 8-shot deficit to 1 as he marched to the closing hole. Young also was 1 behind, but missed the green at 16. Not what he wanted here. And he'd compound the error with a 3-putt for a double bogey. Zalatoris also 1 back, struggling at 16. This for par. The bogey dropped him 2 behind. Thomas was only 1 back as he stood in the 18th fairway.
Come on.
It was right, leaving him with a downhill birdie putt to tie the lead, trying to end a 5-year major drought. the crucial putt to tie. His frustration was evident. At the 17th, Zalatoris needed to make this birdie. He was back within a shot. Zalatoris needed to par 18 to tie Thomas in the clubhouse and hope. Up by one, Pereira was looking to extend his lead at 17. He had this putt for birdie. He would have to settle for a one-shot lead heading to the 72nd. He would need a par at the exacting 18th to win the Wanamaker Trophy. With driver off the tee. He instantly knew he was in trouble. And the ball would roll into the water, changing everything. A group ahead, Zalatoris needed no worse than a par. This was the putt for the necessary 4. Clutch! He remained tied with Thomas for the clubhouse lead at 5 under. Young's par at the closing hole left him at -4. Meanwhile, after a drop, Pereira needed a bogey to make the playoff. He had to get up and down from the left side of the green. Couldn't believe it. Now a must-make. A final hole calamity and a double bogey.
It's tough, to finish like that. Really good week. On Monday, I just wanted to make the cut, and on Sunday, I wanted to win. So really hold to that and take this to learn from the future.
The heartbreaking finish left him tied for 3rd with Young at -4. Fitzpatrick tied for 5th at 3 under. So Zalatoris and Thomas were headed to the PGA's first playoff in 11 years. The 3-hole aggregate playoff would be at 13, 17, and 18. Thomas had the honors to start the playoff at the par 5 13. In the rough, likely forcing a layup. Now Zalatoris. He striped that one middle of the fairway and deep. He would be able to go for the green in 2. A superb shot that put the pressure on Thomas. After laying up, Thomas needed to hit it close with his 3rd. And he executed under pressure. Zalatoris eyed his eagle putt that just slid by, and both players made birdie to remain tied. At the short 17th, Thomas once again had honors.
Still twirl, he likes it. He loves it now.
Thomas's drive stopped 40 feet away for an eagle. Zalatoris' drive at 17 was right of the green. His eagle pitch. "10 feet for birdie." Now Thomas up next for eagle. Zalatoris for birdie. He knew early. Now Thomas had a look to take the lead on the second of 3 playoff holes. He's up by 1, the first time he led all week. Another test at the 18th tee. Perfect. Zalatoris had to match Thomas's drive. That he did, right side of the fairway. Again, down 1, this would be a critical approach to put pressure on Thomas. Now, what would Thomas do? A fabulous shot. What a scene at Southern Hills. Zalatoris knew what he had to do for the tie. This meant Thomas had to only 2-putt to win his second PGA Championship. Quietly down the hill, to just a tap-in. And a chance to finish it off. Justin Thomas, the 2022 PGA champion. Justin, time again. A hug with his caddy, Jim Bones Mackay. And a handshake with Zalatoris. and a bigger hug with his dad, Mike, a lifetime PGA professional.
You know, I battled like crazy today, especially after on 6 where we caught a random gust downwind and having to save a bogey off the cart path. So I'm close and super motivated, but we'll get one soon.
And now it's my honor, on behalf of 28,000 PGA members around the country who are the leaders in the golf industry and work every day to promote the game of golf. It's my honor to present the gentleman who bested the best field in golf, our 2022 PGA champion, Justin Thomas.
A lot of special and important moments that go into winning a tournament, but I mean, there's a lot of shots over the course of 4 rounds that are why I'm here. I love this place as soon as I step foot on it. I obviously have a lot more reason to love Southern Hills. The list of champions here, I think, adds to the week. I mean, anytime you have an amazing list of champions like that, it feels even more special to put your name next to them. Yeah, it's very special to be able to now do this twice, you know, with my dad and my family, being PGA professional and spending a lot of time around, you know, a lot of the officers in past and sharing that moment with them on the 18th green, you know, afterwards getting the trophy. It's surreal. It's very, very special and cool.
He's played so well this year and haven't won, and to finally get across with a win and it be a major and be PGA Championship, which obviously is very dear to me. It's a pretty crazy day.
Thomas's 7-shot comeback matched John Mahaffey as the largest in PGA history. Rory McIlroy had 4 consecutive birdies early, but settled for 68. And Davis Riley was 13th, making his first cut in a major. Jordan Spieth's quest to complete the career Grand Slam continued. Join us next year at Oak Hill Country Club in Rochester, New York for the 105th playing of the PGA Championship. Our thanks to Rolex for their support of the 2022 PGA Championship official highlights. Just in time again.